And then ginger, this is ginger. Ginger is growing. Hi everybody, it's Robbie from Southern California, and today I'm going to harvest my organic ginger. I'm going to use gloves. Now this is the ginger that we did originally buy from the grocery store maybe 2-3 years ago, and we've been harvesting it and then regrowing it, so we know it's organic. There was nothing on it. We were lucky enough to get some ginger that was untreated. So let's take a look and let's grab one and see what's going on with the ginger. So now the reason I'm harvesting it is we've been having a lot of rain. It's so cold today. It's been like 50, and the rain can make it go, well, it can rot it if I left it in. It's been really, really wet. So I don't want to damage it. So what I'm going to do, we're going to just dump it on the table. And I'm going to go through the ginger once I get them all out and cleaned. And I'm going to decide which I want to keep and what I want to regrow. Because there's, oh, look at that. Wow, now remember when you went with me early in the year, you saw I planted little pieces. So we'll see how much we have out of this, wow, out of this pot. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna pick the ginger that we want to keep. It doesn't have to be right away. Ginger store is really good for a little while. See, well drainage, big holes. But look at all the roots. This is all the ginger roots growing. But that's not going to do us any good. So we're just going to compost that back in and use it for growing later. Let's see what's in this one pot. There's a piece there. Wow. And there's a piece there. Now we'll have to go through this and see what's in here and what's not. Look at the big roots they grow. Now the roots do not grow back. Last time I said I didn't know. I do know now. They do not grow. So what you can do with the roots, these big roots, after you wash them, you can chop that up and eat it. Gary loved it. He said it had a ginger taste, but it was very mild. So you don't have to throw the roots away. We're not going to throw the roots away. We're actually going to eat them. Now that's the bigger roots. I would not eat the little tiny roots. Let's see. This one doesn't have a whole lot, does it? And they're all going to be different. But they were really little pieces that I planted. Oh, look at the earthworm. We want to keep our earthworms. Yeah, this one doesn't have a whole lot. I'm going to actually put the soil back in unless it's buried somewhere. So I ended up with this. So let's see if we can tell. It looks like that was the original plant, maybe? The original piece. And then it grew all this. And this one, well, this broke off here, so it must have been one piece. So that's okay. It's not the best harvest. I've had better. So let's get this back in the pot. And I really should have brought a colored leaf over. Let's put the leaves on the bottom. The reason I like putting leaves on the bottom, a couple reasons. They'll decompose and they'll add nutrients to the soil. And when you're moving things around, it keeps the soil from falling out if you've got a big hole like this one. But this will work for now. So we're going to put all this back, and I'll look through as I put it back. We don't want to do anything with this, toss it out, dump it in the yard, because this is going to be great. I can add some more. Oh, there's another big piece of ginger. That's why you really have to look through it, because you just don't know. But, you know, I'll add in some leaves from the garden. I'll come back and freshen it up and get ready when I plant my ginger back. Because, you know, ginger is a good heavy feeder too. Don't lose your earthworms, that's important. There's earthworms all through here. If I missed any tiny pieces and they head towards the surface, they will grow. Okay, so this ginger did pretty good. There were a couple little pieces in there. And we had a late start in 2019. We had a very cold spring. It didn't even get warm until June or July. So a lot of things were much slower. I don't know what's going to be now. So we'll just see what happens. But things did grow a lot slower than they did the year before. This I'll just hose off. I'll take the roots and I'll use them in a stir fry or something, or Gary will just eat them. But this is, oh, my earthworms, get in there and stay in there. We're gonna need you. Okay, let's look at one more. Here's another pot. Now this one's still green, but I'm gonna go ahead and take it out anyways. I wanna get all the leaves out from the other one, including this. And I could either leave it if you wanna see it. Let's see how we can get this out. Yeah, I just worry now, I could do something as simple as not taking it out of the pot and bringing it in the house. Now that's beautiful green ginger. We have done that before too. So you can bring it in the house and not winter it outside if you've got a lot of rain. This is so packed in here. But I want to go through some, see the original plant rotted away. So, oh wow, this one's packed. And I want to make sure I get enough for us to eat too. And by taking them out, I can go through them and then keep what I want to eat. And then I can freeze the ones I want to eat so it doesn't go bad. Just wash it up, put it in a plastic bag in the freezer. Well, first what you would do is if you want to keep it, you'd wash it real good, keep the ones you want, dry them off, put them on a tray in the freezer, freeze them first. And the next day, then you can throw them in a Ziploc baggie in the freezer. It works out, a lot of stuff works really good that way. Look at all the beautiful roots on this. Again, we don't want to lose any of our earthworms. Ginger grows really, really well in pots. It really likes being compacted like that, and it seems to grow really good. Plus, if you put it in the ground, sometimes you don't even know where you ended up putting it. So, like I said, I don't know if we're going to have a really good harvest this year. We had a much better one, I think, last year because we had a really warm spring, the year before, I should say, and that gives it extra growth. But this year, it struggled. It's only really been growing for a few months because it was so cold until summer. That's all we ended up in here, but again, it was just a couple little pieces, and I can decide. Now, see, this one looks like it's actually sending up new growth already. So I can cut that into chunks and save what I want. That's plastic. But these roots, Gary likes those roots. So I need to put all this back and look through. But that's how easy it is to harvest it if you want to harvest it. Now, if you were going to harvest it, like, let's say you wanted to just use some ginger and you were growing it and it was still green, well, you could just take it out, cut off what you want and put it back and it will regrow. You can even cut off the side here if you were growing it and it was still green and put back the part that's growing, trim it up. I wouldn't leave it if it's brown. See, this is already turning brown. It's not growing anymore, it's stopped. But we're gonna go ahead, cut this off. And this I will compost back into the pot. And then I'm gonna have to go through the rest behind me because I've got turmeric also I've got to go harvest. Oh, that's gonna go in here. You know what? So let me show you what I'm gonna do with pots with big holes and how I prevent it from falling through. I'll be right back. Now this is my favorite thing to use. This is just great. I do this in so many of my pots when I'm setting them up. Just push it to the bottom and then see in here, and then I can put all the soil back. It's not going to fall through, and the earthworms will just love it, and it feeds the soil so good. So that's it. I'll go through the rest of the ginger and see what I ended up with, and I'll show you what I had, and then you'll watch me plant it back after I pick out the ginger I want to keep. But I know this is going to grow really good, so I'm really excited. And like I said, I already see it's getting little knobs to it. Ah, it smells so good. But yes, I planted some really little pieces. And so they kind of doubled and tripled in size. Had we had a warmer spring, it would have had a much longer growing period. Like I said, you can bring that indoors. We did one year and we tried it and it stayed green. Not necessarily grew, but the plant stayed green. So it gives it a little bit extra growth time. And that's what I'm going to do now. I don't know what our spring's going to bring. One minute it's so warm, it was warm yesterday, and then today it's back 50 degrees. And they do like it warmer than that. Let me see if I have any more before I finish. So we've got these, and I'll hose them all off. And then what I would do, let's say I wanted to, let's see if I've got one that's got some growth starting. This one's got some growth starting. So if I wanted to grow, let's say that piece, this is what I would do. I would cut it with a knife. And see, you've got the meat inside, the actual tuber. I would let this sit on the counter for a day or two, just so it gets dry. You can plant it just as soon as you cut it and put it in. I've done it, it works, but here's the thing. You also risk, in case it's too damp, it might start to rot. It might. So it's really better if you just let it sit for, a day or two till it kind of calluses over. It's just going to dry up a little bit and it will seal itself, and then you can plant that. So I will plant that one because that one's got a little bit of growth already showing like it's going to grow, and I'm going to plant it and put it in the back room in the house. But I think, let me see if I have any more. Oh, there's a piece there. Like I said, if I miss any, it's going to grow. I've got more turmeric than ginger. Here's another ginger. All right, I got one more ginger here. Let's see what, nope, that's turmeric. Turmeric, nope, we'll do turmeric later. Okay, we got one more ginger back here. Looks like the rest is turmeric. Save the leaves, we're gonna put it back. Let's see what's in this. This got a big root system on this. See the roots? Now this one really took off. This is interesting. This one is full, and this one, oh yeah, look at this. This particular one was closer up against the house, so it was warmer. Much warmer, look at that. And this one seems like it grew even better because it was warmer. Like I said, we had a really cold start. So again, microclimate. So see how wet this is? It's up against the house, so it's staying, I guess it's staying more damp wherever, oh, look at the earthworms. They get in there and they just grow and grow and grow in here. If I would leave it in this dampness, there is a possibility it could rot. That's why it's really good to move your ginger in out of the rain when it goes dormant, because you have a possibility of losing it. This looks like it's okay, so we're doing good. Still sending out new growth, new roots. That's it. So on this pot, what I'm going to do is cut this apart, have for eating, and the roots I'm going to take off and eat too, these long roots. And then I'm going to choose the ones that look like they have the best little looks for growing. Don't kid yourself. Sometimes the ones you think don't look good grow better. That's it. So then you've got this bunch, this bunch, this bunch. And there could be some more hiding in here, and I'm going to look through. But I think that's it. So let me go get this all washed, and I'll show you what I ended up with. So there it is. That's the ginger we just picked. Look how beautiful. And there's the piece I cut that I may end up planting back. Isn't that gorgeous? This one's rotten, so we're going to compost that. But look at that in here. This was going to start growing, so I'll pick through. This one's a little rotten too. This is what happens when you leave it. Oh no, this one's gone. See how rotten that got? That's why you can't leave it out in dampness. But this little piece looks good. So we'll get all the rotten parts off. We'll keep this little piece. and we'll go through and pick out what we want to plant and what I'm going to keep to eat. When washing them, if you want to scrub them like in between, designate a toothbrush. This is actually one made for dogs. Look how cool. It's got a small one on one side, a big one on the other. Designate this for food. Don't use it for your hummingbirds or anything else. Just keep it for food. Then you can get in there and really scrub. Look at that. And clean up your ginger with a toothbrush designated just for your ginger and your turmeric. In other words, just use this for your food. Look at that, it cleans it right off. All that mud comes right off because that toothbrush gets really in there good. So there's my ginger, all washed up, dried, and ready to trim off what I want to grow and store in the freezer what we want to eat during the year. I'm quite pleased in a few black flower pots to get all of this. And look, even a little piece of turmeric snuck into one of my pots. With that, have a great day, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye.